All right. One more change here. Turn it on this way. OzChamp, here we go. All right, it is January 25th, 10 p.m., 2025. Weird order to say the date and time, but we are looking at some pretty interesting leaderboards today. Our last leaderboard review was 8 days ago. We have seen many changes. The last 24 hours have been especially packed. Since yesterday morning, some major firsts have been achieved, which we will get to. But the first episode race has been locked in at rank 1. We've seen lots of things. I've not been super tuned in, so a little bit of this leaderboard review will be a little bit exploratory, but let's jump into it. So as always, we start with guard. We know that top guards filled up these days. I'm not even sure how many guards there are, but we assume there's got to be at least 25 to 30-ish. It looks like there's about 500 people now that have level 200 or higher guard. For Chef has not yet been locked up in the top 20. There's still a few places remaining, but Chef has been moving quite a bit. It looks like there are, in a few minutes here, there's going to be a 13th player who will lock in 500 Chef, meaning there are only 7 spots left to get, and the lowest of those 6 as of today has 427 Chef, meaning they are probably only 1 or 2 days away from unlocking vegetable stews at 438, which are of course kind of the ignition. So there's 3 players remaining who are not quite at veggie stews yet, but very close. Very interesting one there. For density evaluation, it looks like about 290-ish to 300 probably have 200 plus Chef. It does fall off a bit. You can see I'm 3 levels above that, and we're only at rank 172. So about 100 people stop at 200, and maybe some are pushing beyond, but Lambro at 212, still a little bit shy of the stews. So there's another about 50 people that are working their way up to stews. Interesting. Fisher, we have now 9 rank level 500s for Fisher. So bless you, did make it. I knew this dude was gonna make it. Pretty exciting to see how many people just crushed this leaderboard though. The rank 20 Fisher is at 346. I'm interested in the fishing leaderboard because of how good the venture is. Like, the people who lock up the fishing spots means they're not going to get that really juicy venture XP. And I wonder if that's like not even really a good thing, right? So definitely an interesting one to keep in mind of. If we go into density here, it looks like less than 180 people have 200 fishing locked up, which is a little surprising considering that it has such a good venture at 226. But look at the gap fall off here. So if 180 people have 200 plus, less than half those people have even unlocked pufferfish. So it's a little bit of a fall off there. So a lot of people don't even have the venture. It looks like a Rosket, about 100 people have unlocked the 226 oyster venture, which almost gives 1,000,000 XP per day if you use a upgraded oyster net and one that has been enchanted with a 10% XP potion. The stacking is nuts, and it takes about 3 seconds once you've ran over. It does stack really well with Vincible missions as well. Oysters are pretty goated. Now, if we want to check, let's see, we have 2 more here. So Forager did lock up. I did not make it, you guys. Sophic Blue decided to push a little bit over 10 levels per day the last couple days that it was available. This player was totally invisible. We knew of Sophic Blue and Extra. We knew they were out there. The real surprise is whoever the rank 6 was. We still really have no idea who rank 6 Forager is. We presume that 4 is Rush. I think there's a high likelihood, yes, number 7 and Chaotic up end. But it's possible that Chaotic could be the rank 6, but we're kind of confused by that because we're pretty sure that Chaotic would have shown up on other leaderboards. So anyway, TLDR, we have no idea who is in rank 6. Just gonna quickly KP here. I feel like I need to get a venture going. You have 0 Yeah, I would say you should probably be hopping on the train for fishing. It's literally like over 900,000 XP if you stack like high level enchantment for the oyster net and you've like upgraded it and stuff. It's crazy. So you're getting that like every day for free. So like every 3 days you should be getting like a full level. And then like it scales up further, right, for the ones higher than that. But 3 days for a post 200 level with like a 5-minute run, right? And if you're doing like Chef Ventures anyway, and doing Invincible, and like Little Lucy later once you get to the other post 200s, that's pretty crazy. All right, we have a couple more to look at here. So for Forager density, since we're checking these now, it looks like about 220 approximately players have 200 plus. My friends list is not always a great representation of the numbers. We have this 18 or so person gap between 208 and 226. Not really sure how many actually have it, but a little over 200 players, right? While there are now 20 foragers. The next few spots are kind of not even claimed yet. If we go here, I guess we'll show our nuns. Basically, Lambro, myself, and Laraza are all in that little home stretch there, but not a big deal. Alchemy is an interesting race. There are, as of yesterday, Kamadi had gotten 500 done. Wait, what? So Kamadi has not sent 500 yet. I saw he hit 497 pretty early yesterday. So is he waiting for something? He must be waiting for something. You're 1 away, you're just chilling, right? Yo, how's it going, Kamadi? As always, a shout out for the legend. About to lock up that rank 8, I mean. Pretty sick, pretty sick. Doing it now in 30 minutes. Well, there you go. The soon-to-be most recent 500. Well deserved, man. It's been a fun journey watching you grind it out. You gotta let me know what your plans are after Alk, though. You gotta let me know. But if we want to look a little bit deeper here, just to get an idea of the race, Kale is pretty much locked up. Kale like lives over there, been really crushing it out. I don't know about Stiggy, but I do see Duelish all the time. My guess is Stiggy might be doing some KP strat. I'm not really sure. I guess we could check their stats and find out. But yeah, they got 334 Minefighter, 246 Foraging. So they may have some ways that they're pumping in. I'm very curious. I think it's just Minefighter, yeah. I wonder if they're banking the Minefighter stuff too, just to get more of the resources for mid-level pots. A Slime Grinder, yeah, checks out. So, the other names though, like, Ozzy actually passed me very recently. This guy's been kind of cruising through the Alchemy board. There's a couple names like this. Kara's been grinding. ITI technically just passed me today. ITI's probably pushed 30 or 40 levels very recently. The levels after 325, there's a couple good potions here, but there's not a lot between 325 and 412. So I have like a bit of KP that I can get for my alchemy still, but I just kind of ran out of my limpet hogberry stack. We can technically bank like another 1,000 or so hogberry and make another 1k, but active alch is kind of rough. KPers pushing active alchers is still insane to me. Yeah, I mean, the whole KP system is insane, right? The whole system's insane. KP's like so OP from combat skills too, especially if your combat skills are boosted by somewhat efficient potions. It's definitely interesting. I think it's gonna be super fun to watch the episode 5 races when they happen. So it's gonna be probably a different set of people. I'm gonna re-queue this just for bad pathing. But yeah, like the way that I'm looking at this, Menace and Coffee are not pushing as aggressively. Coffee we think has completely disappeared. We were told that they were stepping away, at least temporarily. Webster kind of put a pause to do episode 4, but Sash has been pushing up pretty solid. Now after Sash, it's Cow. I think Pipsqueak has slowed down. I haven't seen Pipsqueak at all. I don't know much about bonus stage Rob. We know Max Zistral made a lot of some of those 277 pots, I think. And I don't know much about Zoe either. So it's interesting to look at like how people are spending their time, what they're going to be doing, and like what their timelines are. I'm not in like a great position right now to push my alchemy because we're kind of like broke. But I have a bunch of potions that I could sell if I wanted to. I was thinking trading was coming sooner, and that might kind of affect my alchemy race. But I can be, I mean, I can afford to get passed by 2 people right now. And that it's already including ITI being ahead of me, so we're not in a horrible spot. Like competitively, I think we're pretty invested into maintaining this. I haven't really lost this type of race when I was already ahead, so we'll have to see where we can really push forward here. Get 412, I got you covered. Wait, what is the 412 potion? Isn't that the it's not the, is it 10% Kren maybe? Oh, it's 10% mine. You just have a bunch of the resources or what? I just gotta get some stacks for you, huh? Trading wasn't till after combat, I feel like, since the voted on primary by the community. Well, it's funny because I remember voting for trading and I'm like, huh, I guess I'm in the minority. But that apparently was just announced by Samuel, right? That they want to put out combat before? I mean, that's a pretty bold decision, isn't it? I don't even know. You can make top 20 for Minefighter? So Minefighter's for whatever reason, it was just like the least competitive, right? Combat's the biggest complaint. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Dang. 412, yeah. It's interesting it's that slowed down. So yeah, we're gonna try and make top 20 on Alchemy. That's definitely on our radar. We kind of inted our forage race a little bit by not KPing it, which you could argue would have inted it much worse. I've had a few bad ranges and a few good ranges. We'll still get like top 25, no doubt. And I think we'll get top 25 regardless of how we do it. But I was trying to do some more like fish forage, and like what I'm doing right now, it just feels better. Even if I'm not like being incredibly efficient with like the micro of how we're playing it, I know that like the hours are kind of like well spent in terms of like how else we could be leveling fishing. So this seems to be fine. Anyway, let's continue with the leaderboard review. Got a little bit distracted here. So the Hopeport race, to look at this, Small just hit 2000 yesterday and is already at 2024. So they're still pulling very good levels. We expected them to be done with guard a few days ago, I think. I think on Friday, Small would have finished guard. But I don't know. I don't really see Small around, and they're in like full incognito these days. I mean, I've seen them like on Twitch and stuff, but I've not really heard a lot, so I don't want to make any assumptions. But yeah, MOBA did decide, MOBA's right here next to us. MOBA decided to get their fishing up, so those 70 levels that MOBA had have been kind of converted on. So MOBA did overtake Zohan again, who's I think been doing a bunch of things that weren't necessarily like level efficient wise, but he's still been putting in some crazy good effort. So I mean, as expected, like I have gotten to rank 4. I'm trying to see if we're even gonna be able to hold top 5, because I still have like a ways to go in this race, and I know Omega's been pushing pretty hard. He's outpacing ITI pretty good, but we have like a pretty heavy level lead. So if Omega keeps pushing, I'll have to see what I can do to try and maintain some pressure. Lambro has been climbing this board a lot as well. Got to give a shout out to Lambro. He's been all over a bunch of different activities in Hopeport. I see him like constantly making potions. I think he really wants to push for either like Alchemy spot, or I guess we'll have to see. I imagine Alchemy is going to get a little bit more juicy over like the next couple of weeks, but I think by the end of the leaderboard review we'll have an idea here. So rank 20 in Hopeport is now at 1122. So we're starting to get to the point where these levels are kind of locked up. I just want to see one thing here. Oh yeah, 234. It seems that like the amount of time that people have that fishing venture unlocked is going to be kind of important for like really sending the levels here. There's only, what is it? Yeah, there's only 9 people, right, that have 500 fisher. I don't think any of these people are really going for Hopeport levels, except I know Havrick's been doing it kind of passively. He's been living in the kitchen like constantly. Like this is like a level combo not to underestimate too. Like 500 and 265 and like 2 of the arguably worst skills. I don't know. Alchemy still I think is better than Fish and Chef, right? Mainly because of how good potents are. Sorry, Remy, you said you're finishing gathering with no enchants, no KP. My XP pot's pure bones for 335. Bone right to 500. dipping. Wow, wow, that's incredible. So, I guess we could also check for like a 200 all scenario. Do we have an idea of how many people in Hopeport have 1,000? Oh yeah, look at that. There you go. So there's 45 people with over 1,000 and only 20 people with about 1,100. So there is a bit of a push now towards that 200 all Hopeport. It seems like that's been achieved by quite a fair number of people. So better player, there you go. All right, so we got Scout. We're only a fourth of the way done with the review. We've got a full leaderboard here. I can't quite see the density of the 500s, but it looks like it's at least 20. And the current number of 200 plus scouts is currently 293 plus or minus a few. It shouldn't be that much more. Gatherer, we are looking now at 10 level 500s. Rank 20 is still at 303, which I think is our fourth lowest level, sorry, rank 20. So this is one of the top 4 leaderboards to still get a place on if anyone's kind of like just finishing something or wanting to get a new profession going. Gather is probably one of the best bets. And it probably also has the least amount of people who are like going to be KPing just for the sake of making a leaderboard. So pretty interesting there. Woodcutter, you have 7 500s now. So Sap is locked in the woodcut race after they've finished Carpet rank 1. Looks like you got another 6 or 7 people, 400 plus, and yeah, rank 20 is still at 331. Kind of interesting. So our current density number for Woodcutter is something like 104, up to about 115 or so, of people who have 200 plus Woodcutter. Very interesting. Carpenter, we now have, that's crazy. So Malazetic made it, but also this Raka hit 500, and Howard is not far. Nat at 393, very impressive. Ape up there, 354 is killer. Seti at 246. So Carpenter is perhaps, yeah, this would be the 4th hardest, I think. Might even be the first or second hardest for like how few people have you know, got onto the leaderboard for having like a high skill. So this is crazy. 246 for rank 20. So I'm guessing it's still pretty low. Yeah, less than 100 people, at least as far as we can see, have 200 plus Carpenter. Very crazy. The Hopeforest leaderboard is currently being led by Nat. Apathetic, pretty solid second place. Monster Girl, I think, I know on stream they were talking about like stepping back at least a little bit, maybe a little bit of burnout. I heard some talk there. This was a week back. But yeah, some fall off here. So Sap and Howard not too far behind. Obviously Sap having some pretty crazy grinds behind them. This is them kind of climbing up. Interesting to see how that's going to go. They have the 2 500s done that could be potentially quite slow. And I think they have all that scout KP. Who knows how that's going to go. Could go to a lot of things. Nat is an awkward spot as Nat dropping endgame logs to get woodcut rank. Ugh, yeah. That's never fun. So anything else with Hopeforest? We've got, how many 800 pluses? Yeah, average 800 plus, basically your completers are at 38 or so. So 38, maybe 40 people have 200 plus in Hopeport average per level, meaning 800 total levels from Hopeforest. Kind of a cool metric. Yeah. Then we have episode 3, starting with Minefighter. Minefighter seems to be the lowest of all of the combat professions. There are only 13 level 500s, meaning there are still 7 spots to get level 500 Minefighter to front page. Kind of surprising. We see Britain, again, has not moved. Former rank 1, now rank 16. Very disappointing to see them not really progress, but I guess it is what it is. People gotta do what they gotta do. Yeah, I think after 412, I'm not sure how we can check the density, but yeah, it looks like rank 29 is 340, so there's about 10 people in that like maybe 70 level gap right there. Not too crazy. We feel bad for 2-tap. Sad to see Stonemason rank 1 was bought. Few leatherworking merch, jeez. Yeah, that makes sense though. Does make sense. So 243 people have at least 200 minefighters. So still quite a bit of 200 plussers. Not too loose. Boneright, you guys, Boneright is our most recent level 500. Congrats to Variety MMOs. They apparently just hit this yesterday, according to our sources. This is the second to last 500 that will be hit in Brighter Shores launch profession list. We have QQ Ninja at 341. I do believe this is the largest 500 gap of any profession. I'm very curious how this goes. Unbe at 297, very nice. A lot of players recognize on here. Redbean very high, rank 3, very, very impressive. Redbean's been putting in some good work, it looks like. And that's just one of the episode 3 professions. So rank 20 on Boneright is at 253, so that's higher than Carpentry. Now the 200 plus overall review looks like, yeah, very similar. About 90-ish people have 200 plus Boneright. Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure that one's gonna play out. Now Miner is up to 7 level 500s. That's crazy. So this one is kind of filled pretty quickly. We have a few names on here that we have recognized. I've seen Irota a lot doing Foraging. Rank 20 on Miner is at 322, so a little bit higher, but still somewhat competitive. You have about not even, about 150 level 200 plus miners. Kind of surprising. That would mean the limpet race strategy. Yo, Omega, yeah, we've been trying to just not really care about ranks for a little bit and just kind of chill. Yeah, welcome in, Omega. So if you look at 200 plus, yeah, 150 people or so. Lot more people doing mining than the crafting skills in episode 3. Then we have blacksmithing. Guys, blacksmithing, this is it. This is the last one. This is going to be our last profession in Brighter Shores launch skills that are going to be maxed out at 500. So we're excited to see how this is going to go. Looks like Lusty Argonian passed Netalk, and they pushed so hard that according to Tengoku, maybe there's some pullback here. We'll have to see where this all goes. I mean, Omega, I'm well aware of when I'm choosing to do things that are inefficient. That doesn't mean I'm doing something that I did not choose to do. These are very conscious decisions. And just like how I race guard, when I'm racing, I don't give a crap about an efficiency that's not what I'm racing for, right? Let's do something like a 40-hour run. That's insane. So he's got 17 more levels to go. You can't do that all in one bunch, right? I've been watching him the last 2 days. My goodness. You guys are like locked into the leaderboards. That's pretty sick though. Imagine not sleeping, says Unbe. Rank... what exactly are you overall? You're currently rank 3, right? Just casually not sleeping, but also sleeping. You slept 10 hours. Impressive. Very impressive. So we've got 254 for rank 20 Blacksmith. This will probably be one of the last to fill. My guess is Carpenter is going to be the last leaderboard. If you guys are just viewing this today, I bet there's a very real chance that someone, like if Lynx Titan started Brighter Shores today, I bet they could front page the Carpenter leaderboard. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. But who really knows, you know? About 113 200 pluses, maybe 120. But yeah, not a whole lot of people in the blacksmith world. Last profession for episode 3, we have Stonemason, which we know Strafe got 500 very recently. Dalton in chat has 488, very close. 2-tap at 440. Very, very impressive. We know Strafe and Dalton were opted for quite a bit. I think 2-tap has been pushing like a mad lad though. Now who's this anonymous player? Frost gets in. Who's rank 4, guys? Do we have a name? Yeah, Redbean's climbing up on the Stonemason leaderboard. Very impressive. Very impressive. So 245 for Stonemason. There's still a chance that Stonemason... Oh, that's Irksome, I see. Very cool, Pasty. Yeah, there's still a chance that Stonemason may be on like a similar speed to Carpentry. But Stonemason, Blacksmith, Bone Wright, I'm not really convinced rank 20 is like leaning towards any of these in any particular way. Buddies at rank 7? Are you? Is that you? You don't think that's Eric? Interesting. Interesting. For 200 density on Stonemason, we're looking at about 110-ish, 105-ish on the list. So not too many people on Stonemason. To conclude episode 3, we have the Mines of Manspin overall high score. Looks like Rosket is leading at 1448, but Red Bean has been making some ground here at 1402. We got the Anon rank 3, and then Tengoku, another Anon, Ramana. A lot of people up here. Pretty impressive. Now, how many do we have for our 200 average? And probably like 35 people or so is it. It's about 35 people have 200 average in episode 3. Very, very few number of people. And how many of those $200 even care about maxing all of episode 3? There's a very real chance that you could just jump into the episode 3 race and still get on that leaderboard. If you have enough determination and willpower. Yo, Argonian. Wow. The Lusty Argonian. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, dude. Welcome in. We've seen your name quite a bit. Looks like you're on the hell of a grind right now. We wish you the best. That's some real determinism that we're observing in real time. 17 levels. Hope it goes quick for you. And we will finish off with episode 4. We've got Watch Person, which we know filled a long time ago. I don't know if I have any like metrics here to see. But yeah, at least probably like 25 to 30 people, I'm guessing, have level 500. Guys, there's 41 people with over 400 Watch Person. So as you can imagine, yeah, there's 710 or so people, 750 even, with 200 plus Watch Person. How crazy is that? So Watch Person, clearly one of the most populous 500s in the game. Sorry, 200s. Probably also 500. But a lot of people pushing that. There's Ghost Drags at rank 766 with 198. And Tripmaster, nice. Even Webster, man, all these people we know. It's crazy. We'll go to Detective. There are now 15 level 500 detectives. Only 5 spots left on our detective list. I don't know who's gonna fill these spots here. Looks like Twill's pretty close. Lots of spicy drama over here. This is interesting. So let's jump into Detective real quick. We just want to see how many 200 pluses. It looks like we have about almost 600. Probably just under about 590, 580. 200 plus detectives. That's crazy. So many a detective. Yeah, grats to the recent 500s on here. We've got Titus, not a cop. I think that was probably a little bit, right? That not a cop got it, but yeah, I think Titus was a little more recent. We've got a leather worker. Now there are 10 500s. Casey recently getting it. Onas. Afterlife and Miles. Miles about to hit 500 leather workers. A pretty big deal, considering we know that Miles already had 500 merchant. This is probably one of the most impressive accounts in the game right now. So 358 is rank 20 merchant, so still a little bit of flexibility there. Kind of in a similar boat to like Fisher, if I had to guess. But it's filling up soon. Total number of 200 plus leather workers is about 170. We have merchant. There are 14 level 500 merchants. And then at like 100 level gap, so a little bit of time here. But Razriel, some other people, sound like Razriel may have stepped away from the game as well. So maybe a little bit of a opportunity for some people to get a spot on the merchant leaderboard. Casey also hitting 500. Do we know who this Anon is right here? I'm always curious who these people are. But yeah, quite a full list. Virulent up here, rank 10. Casey, Ren. Pretty dang spicy. And last but not least, and perhaps most importantly, we have the Chronopolis overall episode leaderboard. with Casey, locking in the first max level episode. Basically conquering episode 4. How crazy is that? Let's get some emotes in the chat, guys. Even like a W or something, you know? It's pretty crazy. If Casey could max all of Chronopolis in under 3 months, like, it's absolutely crazy. But yeah, Gretz, Casey, there you are. Welcome, welcome. But seriously, Gretz, that's insane. I think Casey hit 500 and everything before, around the same time Small hit 3 500s. And as far as I know, those are like the only 2 people who even have 3 or more 500s. There's a couple people who I think have 2, but like, it's a lot of 500s to get. And those 500s are yeah, pretty impressive. So 2 jobs, 4 500s. There you go. There you go. 1 leaderboard spot in Hopeport now. It's a good choice. It's a good choice. She's the goddamn 12 days of Christmas. And we will finish off, you guys, with the overall leaderboard. We now have Pasticcio at 4253. Absolutely crazy, with a non-player we believe to be Irksome at 4223. Unbe at 4055. Warple at 3931. A couple Anons in here, I believe to be... one of these is Empathetic, right? Is Meadow the first one? Is it Meadow and Empathetic? That would have been my second guess. Dude, you're gonna make Pasticcio nervous. I don't know about that. I think Pasticcio's doing just fine. Don't think he's gotta worry about the news. Trolling? So Meadow left, or no? I don't even know. I thought... I don't know. I don't know crap, apparently. I've also, like, not been around, so, like, if people slowed down and they pushed again... I thought Empathetic was, like, 8th, no? So this is Fozan, right? I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend to guess. When the Anons, like, if this dude, like, if he opted for, like, a week or something, we would have no clue. So one of these guys is Meadow, huh? Somewhere in here. Yeah, Zan is on Beast Talk. Yep. That is what we understood. He's opted for like a week. Yeah. But yeah, rank 20 on overall, guys, is at 3183. So we're probably about, my guess is like maybe 2 weeks away from seeing a 3600 plus overall leaderboard. The cool thing about this means that there's going to be a bit of a convergence that'll happen, where eventually more and more players that have spent time going into skills past 200 kind of they like learn where their place is on the leaderboard based on all their activity. So a lot of different efforts are going to be kind of becoming more manifest over like the next year or so. You have Warple, Unbe, Irksome, and Pasticcio like in a league of their own right now. This gap is pretty massive. But yeah, Vorpal pushing pretty dang hard. Rated us earlier. Absolutely crazy. Pasticcio in chat as well. I don't know if I actually gave you a shout out, but if you guys don't follow the rank 1 Brighter Shores player, make sure you drop that follow. Click that heart button at the top of the chat. Very easy to do. Pasticcio has been streaming. It's even pretty helpful sometimes. Definitely not every rank 1 out there is always streaming, so it's pretty cool. Alright, we got a lot on here. Let's go ahead and check the density of the overall leaderboard, because we can. So it looks like about 100 people have around 2,000 plus. I think someone on Reddit said the other day that they were rank 100 and they hit 2,000 total, right? So we're gonna get there pretty soon, kind of whenever we get there. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, all the players that are even under 3,000 that are holding some high stats above 200. And like kind of like what their timing's gonna look like. Looks like Zephyrum's at 2119. I don't know if he's been logging in. It's one of our buddies here. It's about 150 people with 1900 plus. And then it does fall off pretty hard. You can see Tengoku at 1726 is about 209. So 70 ranks here is almost about 170, 180 levels. Not a super great fall off here. But then it's a little bit more dense. Like rank 500 is about 1400 total. Let's see what rank 1000 is. About 1100 total. It's cool to just scroll these names. Someone will be like, hey, I was on YouTube, you know? In the future, they'll be like, that was me. I was playing back then. About 3,000 people have over 800 total. 3,000 people. About 5,000 people have 660 total. About 10,000 people, this is a cool one, have 500 or higher total. That's a cool metric. So 10,000 accounts have 500 levels. That's like no laughing matter, you know? Like that's a lot of players. And like I think about like, nobody has an alt that has 500 levels right now. I mean, there might be a few people, to be fair. There might be a few. So I just started mine like a week ago and I already have like 60 levels on them or something. But if you're passiving 2 different skills to 200 or something, you could probably get 2 200s and 50 more on the side. Because you have to like get level 2 anyway, episode 2. Yeah, the level jumps in the top 50 are insane. Absolutely true. I need more friends in this range to see. 50 people out of like 2,300 plus. So that means like of the top 100, 50 of those people are in like the 300 levels after 2K, and the next 50 literally almost double that. Pesticcio is like spreading the height of this pretty well. Irksome not far behind though. Irksome not too far behind, about 30 levels today. You need 60 levels to go from 36th to 35th. Yeah, I was thinking like once we finish Hopeport, I think I will go for 200 all. Because it should put us pretty high up there, like, I don't know. I'll have to see, but we've done so many of these levels just so poorly that like, I don't know, we'll see where we land. Probably top 100 for sure, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I know even getting a top 20 spot on that overall leaderboard is always going to be crazy. Like you're always competing against like the 20 people who are going the hardest for the longest period of time. It's quite the long-term race. You need 60 to go from 36 to 35. That's crazy to think about. But once the top 20 is all at 3,600 plus, the game's going to change a bit, right? But yeah, that should conclude the leaderboard review. We will keep going on Twitch, but I'm going to wrap up on the other side.